woke moderators are erasing offensive retro games. And my girl Melee K is on this panel. And I do love me Melee K. She a gym. Plus, it's about retro achievements. And I like retro achievements, so it sucks to hear this is going on. Let's learn about it.
Kay, I want to talk to you about this retro achievements thing.
Oh, right. Baby. Okay.
So what's going on with this?
Well, first of all, does everyone know what retro achievements are? Out of curiosity.
Okay, good thing. Yeah, go ahead. Explain it so everybody can understand.
For sure. So I think a lot of us are on the same page. We know what like Xbox achievements are, for example, like Platinums and PlayStation, stuff like that. So Retro Achievements is specifically a platform for people that want to gain achievements on retro video games. So maybe there's a game that you played on the NES or the SNES back in the day, and you're like, it would be so cool if there was an achievement set that I could do to prove that I was able to do all these challenges in these old games that I have.
Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 for the PS2. I have 100% completed that game on retro achievements. Like, and I get it. There was like a PS3 version that obviously had, you know, a trophy system and whatnot. Fuck all that. I wanted to play the original uncensored PlayStation 2 version. I wanted to do it with achievements. And lo and behold, your boy did it. 100% completion. You can check my retro achievements account. It's the only game I've done on retro achievements thus far. I'll do more at a different time. But yeah. Love it. Fucking awesome. Love the concept behind retro achievements.
So that's what Retro Achievements is specifically. It's like its own little community where they build out achievement sets for things that are not supported, by the modern infrastructure, so to speak. Okay. So Retro Achievements is a beautiful little community that I learned about recently. I've known about it for a while because, I talked to Dude1286 and Nerdy Neo and Reese Kane, and they all love to do retro achievement stuff. And they've always tried to sell me on.
Netflix is saying which ones are censored. So on the PlayStation 3 re-release of Dragon Ball Z Budokai and Budokai 3, it came as a dual pack. The blood and gore was censored out of Budokai 1. Certain violence was censored out of Budokai 3, and then the music was all changed and altered in Budokai 3 because the original composer for the PS2 version was accused of plagiarism.
But I'm someone who's like, achievements are not 100% my thing, but recently I learned
for all versions of Budokai 3 re-released on the PS3.
Pokemon Clover that a lot of people on Retro Achievements were trying to get a set for. Now, for those of you who are like, what the hell is Pokemon Clover? I don't know what that is. I had to look into it too. Pokemon Clover is a ROM hack for Fire Red, which is the Game Boy Advance Pokemon. And so essentially you have like a full ROM hack, meaning like you build an entire game out of another game, right? Now here's the thing.
ROM hacks are awesome. I actually want to do some Pokemon ROM hack streams on my gaming channel. They would just take so long and be so time consuming, but there are some really dope Pokemon ROM hacks out there.
So a lot of people on the Retro Achievements platform wanted an achievement set for this game. But it's edgy 4chan humor. And there's a lot of people out there that cannot deal with edgy 4chan humor. Okay. So, like things that people would consider, and I'm not saying I feel this way, I'm saying people would consider these jokes racist.
No, people wouldn't, because these people aren't people. They're creatures. They're cretins. They're NPCs, non-player characters.
Or sexist, talking about certain leaders in Germany, for example, and stuff like that. So things that could easily offend people who are very sensitive. It is not for the faint of heart.
Oh no, Pokemon Clover makes Hitler references. Yeah. Guess who made the original Pokemon? The Japanese. Oh, you don't know about the Japs? Well, let me tell you. Don't Google what Japan did during World War II. You might be in for a shock, and you won't be able to play Pokemon anymore or watch Dragon Ball anymore. You fucking ninnies.
So, somebody volunteered to finally do this achievement set. They finally gave it attention. They're like, okay, we're gonna actually make it happen.
So putting achievements in a hack of a game that
Yes.
it's not even like an official game. It's just like a fun
It's
fan-made
not.
project, right?
It's a fan-made project that's been going on for quite a while. I think it's been almost 10 years now. And this game, essentially, like on Retro Achievements, you can get achievements for this and be able to have it displayed on profile. Think like Steam Profile, for example, where you can show badges and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
So, of course, the announcement of the fact that this could be a thing caused a shitstorm because there's a lot of, let's say, Blue Sky users that also like to frequent Retro Achievements. So,
Man, I was watching a video the other day. And it was a Legend of Zelda video. It was a lore video. Like, he was breaking down... Because, I mean, when I'm on my off time, when I'm not making content, I don't watch the sort of content that I make. Because, I mean, I make this shit. I don't need, like... I watch Hypno, I watch Atreus, I watch my boys. I support them. But, like, I don't watch content creators that I'm not friends with in this sort of, like, cultural, political, gaming, and nerd sphere. So I watch, you know, cooking videos, and I watch, you know, like, real ghost con camera and shit. But one thing I watch a lot of is Legend of Zelda fan theory videos, like about lore, you know, Hyrulean lore that was never, or Hylian lore that was never talked about, and like, what do all these ruins in this specific dungeon mean, and shit like that, right? So I was watching this video, like, 3 nights ago, and we get to the end of the video when the YouTuber's doing their plugs, and he's all like, and he says, I shit you not, and if you guys follow me on Blue Sky, and I'm like, God fucking damn it, and I just started laughing, because it's like 3 a.m., and there's no one to talk about this to, but like, and what popped in my head was like, nobody's following you on Blue Sky, because it's fucking Blue Sky, bro.
there's the people that are like, obviously on the like free speech side, they're like, whatever, this is cool, great, this game actually plays really well, I just want to enjoy it. And then there's the side that is like, this is hate speech and I don't want this anywhere near this platform and you're ruining my community. So after all of this shitstorm of people talking back and forth, which, guys, I will say this is a very thick story. I'm trying to condense it. If you want to look into it, you absolutely can find tons of information on this. But I spent like 3 hours on my channel digging. I'm not going to do that here. So there is a lot of back and forth in the community about whether or not it was the right call to essentially have this ROM hack hosted as an achievement set on the website.
By the way, the answer as to whether it's right or wrong, it's right. It's fine. The answer is now. Obviously, I have a hunch where this is gonna go. Because they're talking about it here. My assumption is that Retro Achievements opted not to host the ROM, which is retarded. Because guess what? If you don't like it, you don't have to interact with it. It's that simple. It would literally just be there for the people that are playing Pokemon Clover and want to attach an achievement system to it. It does not affect you in the slightest. Like these people, oh, you know, they've got the ability to use they, them pronouns in the game. Well, if you weren't going to use those, it doesn't affect you, so why are you complaining about it? All right, I see you. I'll raise you with that. If it doesn't affect you for this game to be on Retro Achievements because you weren't going to play it anyway, then why throw a bitch fit about it? Oh, right. Rules for thee, but not for me.
And eventually, an account called RA Admin, which is the Retro Achievements admin account, had to make a statement as a policy clarification on their code of conduct because of this conversation, which I will read through here. It says, Dear Retro Achievements community, we'd like to make a policy clarification regarding the user code of conduct scope and our stance on content archival. Recent discussions in our community have raised important questions about the scope of...
They're not important questions. Let's nip that in the bud right now. These are not important questions.
Our code of conduct and our approach to game content. We want to address these questions publicly so the entire community has clarity on our policies and practices. On the scope of our code of conduct governs user behavior within Retro Achievements community spaces, how members interact, etc., in all of their stuff. It does not govern the content of games or ROM hacks for which we provide achievement sets. Retro Achievement...
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I jumped the gun. This is actually looking so far to be a good thing. Basically saying, hey, we as mods are out here to make sure that you guys don't interact with each other in a way that breaks the rules. As far as what games are supported, fair fucking game. Like, hopefully that's the route this is going.
Functions as an archival platform. We provide achievement sets for games and ROM hacks as they exist without curating based on their themes, content, or messages. This includes commercial games, blah, blah, like the whole thing.
Right. It's all, I mean, on the surface, this sounds fine, right?
Yes, exactly. They're saying, and this is from the admin team, right? So this is like the moderators and the administrators. It's a volunteer project for a lot of this. There's a lot of people in the community that just kind of take ownership, right? But here's the main thing, and this is, again, their initial response. Our position on archival versus curation, we recognize the tension between archival preservation and community safety. Different platforms resolve this tension differently. Some curate heavily based on content, while others preserve more broadly. RetroAchievements has chosen a preservation-focused approach, prioritizing archival completeness over content curation. This means we host achievement sets for games and hacks that contain content some community members find deeply offensive.
Okay.
We don't expect
When's this going to turn bad? So far, this is looking good. I may have jumped the gun. I may have just opened my mouth and insert foot. Maybe RetroAchievements made the right call. Like, I would imagine, though, if they made the right call, side-scrollers and them wouldn't be talking about it. Even though they should, by the way. Even though they should. I lost my webcam, apparently. I don't know how that happened. Anyway. Hopefully it's not been off this whole time. Hopefully that was just a weird little... Anyway, yeah. Look, anytime companies make the right decision, we should be covering that just as much as when they make the wrong decision, because it shows that we are supporting what we claim to support. So far, this sounds good. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with what we've been seeing so far. Does this go bad?
Everyone to agree with this approach, and we respect that some users may decide that the platform isn't for them based on this policy. We are going to remain transparent, and we're going to keep moving forward. Also, make sure you're respecting people, right? That's the TLDR of this.
Okay.
Now, you're stepping away from this, and you're going, okay, that's a great response, right?
Right.
problem.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, I don't see any problem with this at all.
Yeah, and on the surface, I'm like, okay, awesome. Well, a few hours later, a lot of discussion, as you can see on the bottom of this page.
God damn it, did they go back on it? Is that what this is? After such a good response, did they fucking go back on it?
People cheering it on, people saying, what is this? This is hate speech, a lot of arguing. And maybe some alleged death threats that could have happened that we're still trying to sift through all the proof of, which I'm not going to deep dive into. Mm-hmm. Scott, the founder of RetroAchievements, makes his own statement in an...
Of course, the founder is going to trump the mods. Are you about to say something retarded, Scott? Scotty doesn't know that he's about to be a fucking cuck on the internet.
Another article called Clarifying RetroAchievements Goals, which is the second doc you have there.
Yep.
And this is, I guess, in response to a lot of talking behind the scenes, a lot of people in the community speaking up and being upset by their initial response. Again, this is a bit of a thick one.
Their initial response was literally, if you don't like it, don't interact with it. Isn't that what everybody else? If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Right? Is that not a fair response? Bro, these baby back bitches need the fucking corners rounded off the world for them.
So I'm just going to summarize it where it makes sense, guys. The TLDR, RetroAchievements supports openness and celebrating retro gaming, but we will not provide a platform for games that contain illegal, hateful, or otherwise abhorrent content.
God damn it, you can't make this shit up. Who gets to decide what's abhorrent? Who gets to decide what's abhorrent? Also illegal? Illegal. So, is RetroAchievements going to remove every single ROM hack from their platform then? Because aren't all ROM hacks, when those... By the way, ROM hacks aren't illegal. ROM hacks aren't illegal. So what's the illegal content? Jokes aren't illegal. We got free speech. Who gets to decide? You, Scotty? You get to be the arbiter of what is morally abhorrent because you're the fucking founder of the website, you dumb slut?
Achievement sets for such titles will not be allowed. And remember, this is the founder. So the initial article was made by the admin team. And now we have this statement from the actual founder of Retro Achievements, who is now saying, our goal is to keep Retro Achievements a safe, legal, and welcoming community while celebrating gaming history. He, of course, goes on to talk about Retro Achievements goals, which I won't bore you with too much, but he does say over 13 years, Retro Achievements has taken a neutral stance towards content of games that receive achievement sets. However, the planned release of Pokemon Clover, again, that 4chan ROM hack, has made it clear that neutrality is not enough.
I hate this. I hate this so goddamn much. Neutrality is absolutely perfect. Neutrality, like, this isn't the fucking real world where sometimes you don't get to be neutral. No. On a goddamn website about whether or not these fucking video games should have fan-made achievements, neutrality's a pretty goddamn fine fucking stance to have.
Here it is.
Right? See, here's where we're getting into it. This decision was not made to placate any for a particular group.
Yes, the fuck it was! It absolutely was made to placate a group. It was made to placate these dumbass coddle baby bat bitches with fucking homo-ass blue sky accounts. That's who it was made to fucking placate. Because if you took a neutral stance, if you initially took a goddamn neutral stance, and then you decided to shift away from neutrality and take a stance in one direction or the other, it would literally be by goddamn definition made inherently to placate one side or the other. Otherwise, you fucking maintain neutrality.
When we initially approved Pokemon Clover, we opened dialogue with our community to understand the
You didn't open goddamn anything. You're not even going to make a decision like this.
impact of our policies. Through this dialogue, we quickly realized our view was too narrow. We failed to consider how hosting certain...
What do you mean your view is too narrow? Your view is neutral. That's the most not narrow. That's the opposite of narrow. That is the antithesis to fucking narrow. What do you mean your view is too narrow? Your view was everyone's views are fine for these games, these achievements. Just respect each other when you're fucking talking on the platform. That is nega narrow.
Content affects the safety and inclusivity of our community, and for that, we apologize. He backpedaled. He apologized. This
Right,
policy,
here we go. Hate speech. Yeah, right here.
Hate speech
does
yes.
not belong. That's right.
Hate speech isn't real. Until you can give me a goddamn legal definition, it's not real. You pansy-ass bitches, bro.
Even when disguised as a joke and normalizes real-world hate and harms our community, there's a difference.
Go fuck all of yourself, you fat piece of shit.
Between juvenile humor and outright hate speech. What Pokemon Clover calls humor is hate speech. Retro Achievements will not legitimize bigotry by hosting an achievement on set for it. So,
homie. Go look at, I'm sure there are plenty of classic retro games from the NES or the SNES or the goddamn PlayStation 1 or Dreamcast that's got plenty of that hate speech in it. And I bet you host those. You fucking losers.
of course.
Whoa. This is interesting here because I put this into ChatGPT and I had to give me a quick TLDR here real quick. It says they will not allow achievement sets for games that contain illegal content, glorified hate speech, sexual exploitation, or extreme or abhorrent content.
Yes.
So does that mean that they'll no longer allow GTA?
Hey, let me get to it. Okay, so...
Oh, good. So what I just brought up was going to be addressed. What I just brought was going to be addressed. Excellent. Excellent. By the way, speaking of addressing things, I wouldn't normally do this because it's probably going to get clipped into a video, but I'm going to address a comment right now. Sergeant Garatina, I was ignoring that question because it literally has no goddamn relevancy to what we're talking about here. I'm trying to run a show, trying to talk to y'all in the chat, trying to put on an interesting show. We're talking about retro achievements right now. I couldn't give a fuck less about Selena Gomez.
Of course, right? The discussion while they were still dealing with all of this was like, okay, where is the line? Because people were saying Pokemon Clover shouldn't be on here, right? Where is the line? So do we have no Bully anymore, no GTA, no Manhunt? Like all these lists of games that like we think of right away that offend, the wrong people or whatever. Well, here's the thing, and this is where this becomes a big issue. So this was a ROM hack, meaning it wasn't an official game by any means, right? This is just a community-made thing. Not the Retro Achievements community that made Pokemon Clover, a different community. Retro Achievements is supporting, or was, the achievement set. Now, here's the big problem. Craig, I have a feeling you know what this game is. Do you know what Custer's Revenge is?
Yes, from like 1979 or whatever it is, like from the Atari.
Yep.
Yes.
Where you're.
For those of you that don't know what Custer's Revenge is, it is a it would not be okay by today's standards. It's basically an old Atari game where as a Wild West cowboy, you run around and you fucking rape the Native American women. That is the game. And when I clip this into a segment, I wonder how YouTube's going to take me saying that, because I ain't bleeping it out.
Going to find a native Indian woman and do things to her, right? That's the goal of the game. Well, the following games have been removed under this updated policy. 177, which I didn't hear about before this whole thing, but I looked into it and it was kind of hilarious. And Custer's Revenge, they have now removed a retail games achievement.
So these fucking losers not only blew their gasket over a fucking fan-made Pokemon game that, it's got some edgy jokes in it, 4chan style, but they're throwing bitch fits over old 70s Atari games now. When will the pussification of the fucking game industry, and not just industry, because it's not like these are fucking industry insiders or vets or anything, just gamers and gaming communities, stop? What sort of weak sauce is this, dude?
Even set. So this is not just now achievements for random ROM hacks. They have quite literally taken an achievement set from a game that exists, that was made and sold in retail. And this is where it becomes a huge problem.
Mally, here's Custard's Revenge. I don't know if you're familiar with this at all, but this is the idea that you are Custard over here. And this, you can see the wonderful gameplay here of a man with his wiener out going to have sex with the Indian on the other side. And that is the whole premise of this. You get to the end and so there you go.
Oh my gosh, to be offended by 8-bit. Oh my god.
Yep.
This is less than 8-bit. This is like 4-bit or whatever it is. But yes.
But to be offended by pixels is literally insane. Like
the only pixels that you should ever be offended by is the Adam Sandler movie Pixels, because it is offensive that actually passes as a film. Sorry, I need to make a joke to calm myself. I actually do like that movie.
In 2600 era, like what are we looking at, really?
Yeah,
come on, So this is where I start to get bothered by this situation. And I spent a lot of time going through
No. What do you mean this is where you start to get bothered? You should be getting bothered the moment they decide to take a stance on neutrality and then just hours later walk that back like a bunch of fucking yellow-bellied cowards.
This community, and just seeing that this was almost a last vestige of like classic retro gaming communities. Like, I don't know how people in the audience feel, but for me, I grew up on gaming forums. I love that stuff, right? And this felt like a little piece of home from like 20 years ago that's been lost because...
And you know what? It's funny she says that. It's funny she talks about the gaming forums. I'm going to regale you guys a true story of something that happened to me when I was like 16 years old, maybe even younger, on my favorite Resident Evil forum back in the day. So there was obviously, it was all about Resident Evil, all the different games, the movies, the upcoming projects, things like that. But then they had a general discussion section where you could create a forum for anything, like just for whatever you want to talk about with the community that wasn't related to Resident Evil. And this is around the time when the Resident Evil 5 drama of is it racist, is it not came out, you know, and there was all that dumbass discussion. So mind you, this is like 2009. And because of how the games media and games journalists, even back then, were treating this discussion, I created a forum title called The Stupidity of Political Correctness. And I expected the vast majority, if not everyone on the forum, and this is the biggest Resident Evil forum in the world at this point. Might still be, I don't know. But at the time it was. I expected most people to agree with me because, like, the sensitivity and the political correctness around the Resident Evil 5 conversation was dog shit. No, I was in the minority. Almost everybody on the fucking forum site were justifying political correctness. And this is political correctness in fucking 2009. We're talking almost 20 years ago. I remember the head moderator. The head moderator was a gal named La Femme Fatale. Didn't connect the dots at the time. Didn't realize, didn't know what kind of country it was at the time. Made sense, she was Canadian. Lead mod on the site, the one that wrote out a fucking novel about how great political correctness was, Canadian. Checks out.
Everyone is, coaching language, and you're not allowed to say certain things anymore, and whatever. So it felt really sad to see this kind of devolve, and now you're dealing with this, where Custer's Revenge has been pulled. Now, some people might argue, well, like, who cares or whatever. Here's the problem. So Custer's Revenge was an achievement set before on there. Here's the thing that made me furious. What happens to achievements and points I earned on removed sets? The achievements, points, and badges have been removed. We understand this is disappointing for players who earn them, but consistency with our updated policy requires this action. Now, if anyone has ever in their life...
No, it doesn't. Consistency, you could have a grandfather... First of all, this shouldn't be happening to begin with, but even if it is going to happen, let's say we accept that this is happening, which we have to accept it because it is happening. You could have a grandfather clause. You could keep that shit there. You can't tell me. I know several of you guys in the chat know how to code, right? I've got some indie game devs in the chat. I've got people that know how to code. EB, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this. You're in the chat right now, assumingly. Would it not be completely possible to just write new code that grandfathers in the existing individuals that have completed this, have the achievements, have the badge, the whole nine, and then lock it going forward? Is that not possible? Let me know, because I'm almost positive it is.
Tried to do a goal in video games, like, in Mario or anything, where it's taken you hours and hours and hours, and you finally hit it, and you get this rush of excitement. Imagine if one day that badge that said you did it is gone, because in culture, we find that game offensive now. Something that you achieved 5-10 years ago can be removed because... now it's offensive.
Well, here we are. And this tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
By the way, but this is so silly. So silly.
Yeah.
But so they've locked off these two hacks over here. Mm-hmm. The guy game is technically an illegal game. It had a minor in it showing off her boobs, right?
And you know what? That one I'm okay with. That one's fine. Specifically for that reason. You want to ban that and whatnot? You know what? That did happen. For those of you guys that don't know what the guy game is, back when Jimmy Kimmel had like the Man Show or whatever, it was a video game where you're basically at spring. You go to spring break and it's a party game, mini game collection. Like imagine like smutty real life Mario Party sort of thing. And whenever you would like complete certain mini games, shit like that, women would flash you and stuff. And it was real actual footage taken at spring break. Well, turns out one of the gals was 17 and not 18, and therefore when the game was released, lo and behold, you got a game with a 17-year-old going full topless on it. Not a good look. You know what? Ban that. That's fine, because that's actual, accidental or not, pedophilic content. Right? It's not like an anime game where it's not real. You know, I've been 100% a defender of people that like all that weird, creepy, like underage anime stuff because, like, where it's like a 3,000-year-old dragon woman, but she looks like a kid. Look, whether you find it weird, gross, creepy, That's all fine, but the point is, it's a drawing, it's not real. This, the guy game, it was real. So you want to ban that? That is fine and justifiable. So, that's... like for consistency's sake, I'd say that one's alright. Like to ban. Nothing else that I know of. Now, I don't know what Lolita syndrome is. I don't know what my Lolita is, so maybe there'll be an explanation. But as far as like the guy game, I think that is a completely justifiable ban given that happened.
Okay.
I don't even know what these are. Lolita syndrome and my Lolita.
I'm assuming you're getting into like young girl type stuff. I mean, I didn't look too deeply into that because I just, I didn't know what I was looking at, so I didn't really want to look at it.
Yeah, okay.
But it's. Again, at the end of the day, you're now removing retail sets. How am I supposed to have confidence if I'm somebody who uses retro achievements that you're not going to decide that I can't have that on my page anymore? Because it's a point accumulation as well. So you're removing points from people, and there's like a scoreboard for that. You're removing the badges that say they did it. You're like,
okay,
it's
this is where I'm really bothered by this. And Mally, maybe you can kind of further this a little bit, but he says the new policy is not intended to censor gaming history, but to balance celebrating games with maintaining.
Guys, says not attempting to censor gaming history. I would like to remind all of you what the definition of censor is. Officially examine and suppress or remove any parts that are considered obscene, politically unacceptable, or a threat to security. Like, it is by fucking definition censorship. So if you're gonna be a censorious twat waffle, at least be honest about being a fucking censorious twat waffle.
A respectful, and here's the key word, safe community, right?
Yep.
It's all built around the guise of safety, and it's like, hey, listen, by you not like, I just want to like go back to this, by us not allowing achievements on these incredibly fringe, unlicensed hack games and Custard's Revenge from the Atari 2600, we are creating a safe community. Because someone's going to go crazy and hurt somebody because there's achievements for Pokemon Periwinkle over here.
Gosh.
I feel like we've rode this bike before many times, and it's all about safety. And now the retro gaming community is around it. Mally?
Yeah, I mean, isn't it like literally an age-old argument of, and you guys were just talking about it, I feel like recently on the show, but just like video games cause real-world violence. It's like, no, rhetorics do that, not video games. I promise you, you are far more likely to get somebody who's going to cause something bad after watching an episode of CNN or, a broadcast of CNN than they.
But remind you, let me remind you. The same people that would claim, video games cause, we need to ban games, video games cause violence. These are the same motherfuckers that supported the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Just keep that in line.
They are after playing any of these video games. I do not understand the thought process behind banning them too, because I always reference the, those who do not learn from history are bound to repeat it. I mean, why would you erase it when you're just making it now more inevitable that it's going to be brought back up in the future, that it's going to be, I often reference the prohibition. It's like you're going to take things away from people. They're going to look for it more. They're going to create it more. They're going to make it more secretive. They're just going to hide it. They're going to, make it harder to get to, but still reachable. Like, people are going to do what they want. In every aspect of life, they're going to do what they want. So anybody who's trying to,
Not only are they going to do what they want, they are going to, like you said, want it more when it's out of grasp. How often when we were kids did we do bad shit so we can say we did it? Because it felt good to be bad. You sneak out as a kid. You drink a little when you're underage or whatnot. Oh, parents are out of town for the weekend. They got some beer in the fridge. Let's sneak some beer. You know what? Let's sneak out of the house and go, just walk through the town at 2 a.m. when there's supposed to be a curfew if you're a minor. Shit like that. You do it because you're told not to do it. It's basic fucking psychology.
oh, you want to keep it more safe. No, you don't. You just want to control people because it hurts your little feelings. But nothing about this is more safe. Nobody's more safe because you removed as somebody pointed out and you said 4-bit. It wasn't even 8-bit. 4-bit genitals. Nobody's more safe because you removed 4-bit genitals. Okay, like you just lost fans. There's nothing. I don't even understand the verbiage they use. They don't even understand the verbiage that they use. They just say trigger words and things that they know rile people up. Like, oh, you're more safe. Oh, well, then automatically I must want that. I must want to be more safe. Nobody has critical thinking skills. Because I wouldn't have even glanced at this. This isn't just my forte of news. But because you explained it, Kay, I'm like, wait, what the actual fuck? A 4-bit game we're now more safe because we can't get achievements in a 4-bit game. What? No one thinks that.
And when you say that out loud, does that not just sound like the most ridiculous thing? We're now more safe because there's no game achievements for Custard's Revenge.
Right? Yeah, that.
Okay, is it bothering anybody else? He keeps saying custard, like the food, and not custards. Just me.
When you lay out the sentence, people will actually hear it, but that's not how they do it. They want to mask it behind this wall of frequently asked questions in a very proper tone to make it seem like your safety is their number one concern. I don't need a safety concern from a fucking video game achievement company, okay? I've even said it, it's in my intro and my streams. I don't even want a safety warning on fucking fish hooks. That's called natural selection. If you don't know how to act around things and properly, behave. I am so vehemently against safety warnings because I believe that you should find out for yourself. Fuck around and find out is a great way to live your life.
It's also a great way to end your life. And mind you, I'm okay with that. If somebody doesn't know not to stick the fork in the fucking electrical outlet, we didn't need that little fucker on the team. We didn't lose a champion.
What the fuck? What am I being kept safe for from this? Absolutely nothing. It's
nothing.
Just Big Brother.
You're not being kept safe from anything. This is just a act in control, in my opinion.
100%.
And, I know there's a lot of people out there who use RetroAchievements. Again, I just personally wouldn't have a lot of faith in it, so they're apparently debating on what to do behind the scenes. I don't think it's worth getting into that mess because it's still an ongoing story. But just know that this is my most downvoted video ever on YouTube. People are furious at me just for opening the gates to this and talking about it.
Maybe I'll join you then, Kay. When this segment of the stream gets clipped, I will join you. And if it ends up getting downloaded to oblivion, then fucking go for it. It'll join all my Hassan Piker criticism videos because, frankly, those get downloaded to oblivion because the Hassan Piker fans just look for videos that mention his name to go hate brigade, and I'm A-okay with that. Because guess what, guys? Interaction is interaction, and it'll still push it out into the algorithm. Thank you.
Everyone is so heated, and people who are on my side but just find me too politically aggressive are also very mad at me as well. So it's just been like this weird rabbit hole. I hope for the best for everyone that is on RetroAchievements, that you guys get to preserve all the achievements you do. I know some of you invested in this since you were like in high school and college, and you've had like kids since then, and you want to go back and reflect on your achievements. It sucks that they're doing this to you, and I hope that they resolve it properly, like with whatever they want to do by adding like maybe a filter to block out things, to be like, okay, you can opt in to see the adult content if it's so scary, like stuff like that, right? But I'm personally a firm believer in alternatives. Mod communities are way more popular than this, for example, and Nexus Mods has a lot of competition now, and I am all for giving competition to these people.
Mm-hmm.
I think the idea of having RetroAchievements is really great. I think people have been like, man, you guys gotta check this out, and I did. It was super fun. I mean,
RetroAchievements is a great idea. It is a fantastic idea, and I loved the time I spent with RetroAchievements. But this is absolute bullshit. So like, I am literally considering right now like completely deleting my RetroAchievements account. It's not like I need it that bad. It's not like I need it that bad at all. I'll search, see if there's some alternatives out there. What use is there to me Because let's use Melee K's argument here. About you ain't to wait any time. I mentioned Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 earlier. I've got that game 100% complete on Retro Achievements through their PS2 link. Because the composer was fired for alleged plagiarism. That's a crime. That constitutes a crime, right? That's why the re-release has the music fundamentally completely altered. So, by that logic, they said no illegal content. So they could, yank the original PS2 version off of Retro Achievements, and all the work that I put into 100% completing that version of the game is just gone now. Why should I use it? Give me one good goddamn reason why I should use your fucking service, Retro Achievements.
I don't think I would, whether or not I'd use it again or not, I don't know. But I just think, once again, just say that statement. We are now safer because Pokemon Clover doesn't have achievements in it. What? Nothing about that screams common sense at all. No. I have another idea. Maybe don't play Pokemon Clover, period, if you're going to be offended by it and edgy humor and shit. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you
All
guys.
No, but it's the same concept that, I tell people all the time in my comments, if you don't like what I'm saying, fucking scroll. The internet is free. You do not have to play these games. You don't have to put yourself in a position to be uncomfortable. But you definitely don't have the right to just take over and ruin it for everybody else just because you got your butt hurt. There's nothing definitively wrong about that. You're just a pussy.
There you go. Let them know, Mally. Let them know.
Tell them
All right,
off. They're going to also get mad at you.
Good. Bring it, bitches.
I know. I'm the same way. I'm like, you can get mad at me. I'm trying to help your niche community.
Yeah. I want to make it clear too. I think I'm, because you mentioned that one of them was actually a legal thing. It had a minor. I am against that. I do not like
Again, that's a justifiable one. That's
There's
fine.
a legal thing, and that is just definitively inappropriate. But Pokemon? Fuck off.
Yep. Your dad.
Yeah. Good video. Good video. Glad I reacted to that. Glad I got the one up on that. Again, I wouldn't have normally watched this. No shade to Craig or anything like that. I don't know him. I don't really consume his content. But Melee K is my girl. She's a friend of mine. I love her. She's incredible. Been on the show several times. Been on her show. Her and her husband both just absolute sweethearts. So yeah, if you're not familiar with the Melee Games channel, check them out. Support them. They're incredible. James is cool, but Kay's my girl. But yeah, this is a ridiculous situation. This is learning about this. This is an insane situation. There's already such a bastardization of what's happening in the gaming community as is, and I'm an achievement hunter. I love hunting achievements. I just beat Tormented Souls last night, and I fucking loved it. But I got 6 achievements left. I'm going to have to do at least one more playthrough, if not multiple playthroughs, to fucking finish this game and get 100%. And I'm stoked to do it. I can't wait because it was such a good goddamn game. And as an achievement hunter, I've been enjoying going back and playing old games with retro achievements. I have. Man, while I completed, like I said, Dragon Ball Budokai 3, but I was also going through Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. Going through Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, Ratchet and Clank 2, best Ratchet and Clank game. And it's been awesome to pop some achievements on that. Because these are games I would have replayed anyway. They're games I like. They're games I enjoy. They're games from my past, my childhood, things that I would replay anyway. But now you're adding that extra layer, right? You're adding that extra incentive. Just that little bit of dopamine that comes from popping these achievements. I'm legitimately considering canceling my Retro Achievements account. There's no reason to support them. This is the bullshit they're going to be pulling. But these are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X. You can find me at Bolt the Word, and please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not always about what's going on in the gaming industry, but video games, anime, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check us out on Instagram at wordsparadise_Leon and become a member for $4.99 a month. We can join the Discord. Choose the articles we go over on a day-to-day basis. Choose the videos we react to on the Friday night live streams. Of course, get involved with over 200 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to go even further because we do care about diversity. Only one kind of diversity. Diversity of thought. That's interesting to you. Join the Discord and subscribe. Until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.